Hello everybody. So I'm outdoors right now. Such a beautiful day. I'll show you the view. So this is behind me, around me. And then this is the water. Check it out. So I just took a yoga class with one of my yoga teachers and friends, and she's just so inspiring. And yeah, just every time I see her, I'm like, oh, I love you. And we started just talking about yoga stuff, life stuff, and just catching up. And yeah, pretty much I just felt like I wanted to come on here and talk about listening to your heart. I'm gonna take this off, get some sunshine. So yeah, listening to your heart, like, what does that mean to you? And do you listen to your heart? And what does it say when you listen? So from my own experience, I find it took a lot of time for me to step in and fully listen to my heart. I think it's a moment-to-moment process, listening to your intuition, listening to your heart. I find intuition and heart can sometimes be used interchangeably. So yeah, it definitely took some time for me to step into what do I want, what do I think I want, or is it what everyone else around me wants? So I'll give you an example of following your heart, and it's really simple. So your friends text you and they say, all right, let's go out Saturday, and you have like a large group of friends, and you're like, in your head, you're like, what do I want to do? So in that moment, you're taking a step back to figure out, okay, what do I want? And then you think, oh, well, I haven't seen them, and they might think of me in a certain way if I don't go. So I'm just gonna go, just for the heck of it. So in that moment, you're making a decision based off of what other people want and what they might think of you. So instead, okay, your friends call you, let's go out Saturday. Okay, take a minute to think about it. You don't have to answer the text right away. You don't have to call them back right away. Think about it, sit with the idea, and what do you want? What does your heart want? Do you want to stay home? Do you want to lay in bed? Do you want to do art? This and that. When the answer comes, that's your answer. So instead of jumping to, I feel obligated to go, or, I should do this, or no, do what you want. And I think because we have the phones and we are pretty connected everywhere, we feel like we have to make the decision right away. Like, oh, they texted me, I have to answer right now. And you don't have to. So you definitely don't. But this is just like a little idea of listening to your heart, taking a moment to step back. Okay, what do I want in this moment? So you don't go out that Saturday. Then the next few days, your friends are talking about you. Oh, so-and-so didn't come out, da-da-da-da-da, she never wants to hang out with us, she's too good for us, whatever stuff is being said. And that's when you either say to yourself, oh, I'm a bad person, or why are they saying these things? Like, these are my friends, they shouldn't be acting like that. In that moment, you realize what's important. So I think I'm just giving this example out in general because I've just been around scenarios like that. And I just want to let you know that do whatever you want. Make the decision that you want to make. Listen to your heart. Follow your heart. And I think when we could slow things down and really be with ourselves, be out in nature, quietness, things come, answers come a little bit easier. And also another key is effort and ease. So if you're going towards something and it just feels like so much pressure and there's like a lot of like blocks happening and there's just tension, like that's a moment to check in and listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. What, or even your body, what is this saying in this moment? Whenever I feel that way, I just look at it as a pause. Okay, take a pause. Don't move forward. Stop.
Frank, I'm going down to the sand. Yeah, me too.
So these little kids are so cute. Can't handle it.
No sand.
So yeah, listening to your heart. And also, another thing that was coming up too was people pleasing. So again, this comes back to your heart. Are you trying to please everyone around you? Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to bend over here, reach over there, try and do this, and then you're gonna be like, wait, what am I doing? What do I want? What? So, like for instance, like my yoga classes, or just in general, like any of my events, you know, I love getting feedback. Oh, I loved your class. Oh, I wish you did more meditation. Oh, this, oh, that. And I love it, but I also can't take it in a way of like, I have to start changing this and that around. So, because every student is different, every person is different, their needs, their wants are all different. But at the end of the day, I'm teaching a class that's over 10 people, over 15 people. I have to teach from my heart and from my truth and what the universe and what is being told to me in that moment to come through. So if I'm wrapped up in everyone else's opinions, then I'm not going to be teaching from a truthful place, a place of love and connection. So people pleasing, stop that shit. We can't please everyone. You have to step into what it is that works for you, what you want, and then give that love back out. So sometimes people pleasers are actually surrounded by people that are constantly wanting them to do something, to do more. I want more attention, I want more love, I want this, I want that. Like, check in with that. And when you feel that, like, oh, I feel like I'm being pulled in so many directions, that's important to listen to. And that person, you know, that person may want something more in their life, and they're seeing you as light, and they're seeing you as a connection to source, or some sort of stabilization or figure of love. And that's when you have a conversation of, hey, you know, I feel like you're asking a lot of me and I feel this way. Just expressing the way you feel. And I think this is super important in general, when we could express, hey, like, this is the way I feel, and there is no wrong answer. Like, that is the way you feel. Just the way, like, that person might feel is different the way that I might feel if we went or did something similar. So yeah, check in if you're people pleasing, and I feel like that's a moment to fill up your own well, to reflect and go in a little deeper with yourself and check in with what you want and where your time and energy is going. Yay. Oh, one more thing, and then I'm gonna pull some cards. So, a good topic. Being who you truly are. What does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? So I think we learn a lot. We learn so much when we're in a relationship. And this could be a relationship like a friendship or a romantic relationship or a sexual relationship, anything really. We learn a lot about ourselves and how much we make decisions based off of what people want from us or based off of what we think they want from us. So I think it's important when you're in any kind of friendship relationship that you're moment to moment, you're tuning into what you want, what's true to you, and what's true to your heart. Trying to think of, I had an example that I experienced, I feel like recently. Oh, so my friend said this one. You know, she met up with an old friend, and he starts talking to her like, oh, you know, you should do this to your hair, and you should do that, and yeah, you would look really good doing that. And like, he's offering her like, you should dye your hair, like he's trying to mold her into something that he wants, that he likes to see. And she looks at him and goes, this is me, like, this is me. I don't want to dye my hair. I want my grays to show. I'm 50 years old. Like, let me just be. And it's interesting because they were friendly. They were friends years ago. And it's like, she just looks at him and she's like, you know, he still hasn't changed. Like, he still wants to control me, like control or manipulate and mold things about me. And that's just not me. And she knows herself enough to say that. Like, that's not me, you know, that's not what I'm interested in. So it's just interesting because I feel like, especially when you're young, like 18, 19, like you want to get into a relationship, or you know, you want that connection, you want that love, but you don't even know yourself yet, and you start to get wrapped up in like, well, what does this person want from me? How do I make this person want me more, like me more? And that's not the way to go about it. It's how do I become more of myself so that I could shine and bring that light out, rather than how do I please this person and how do I please that person, and because at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna feel like, wait, who am I? Because if that person doesn't approve of me, and then there's just starts to be a lot of chatter. And I've definitely experienced this where I had a moment of, wait, who am I? Because who I was didn't feel like it was right in the eyes of someone else. So I started to change and slowly change and slowly come back, like take a step back in a way of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, start to hold back, start to suppress, I don't want to be too much, I don't want to be too intense, I don't want to be too happy, I don't want to be too friendly. So I started to hold back a little bit. And in that, I started to get really angry. So like, all that suppression is coming out in anger and frustration. And it was really hard for me to communicate all of this because I didn't know what was happening. And as I look back, like, I see exactly, hindsight's 2020, I see exactly what was happening. But when you're involved in something, you know, you're wrapped up in it, so you don't always see. So that was a huge learning experience for me, and I think now that I'm surrounded by a lot of friends and community, I'm no longer in a relationship or a partnership. In general, I'm learning to, in a way, like, be myself again, fully be myself again, and be okay with my expressiveness and my love for creativity, dancing, being free, wild and free, and just really embodying you as a person and how you want to express. And I think it's really liberating when we step into that space, because a lot of times everyone around us wants to tell us what to do. And I try so hard not to do this to other people. Like, even offering advice, I mean, I think sometimes it comes out automatically when you're talking to a friend. Like you're listening to their story and you're already creating your advice to give them. But just to listen and to be there, and same goes for yourself, just to listen and to be with what you're feeling and how you're feeling. So I'm a big fan of letting people do what they want. And this is a big one, because especially like family and friends, like, is a butterfly or a moth, I don't know. But I think especially with family and friends, we see something that they're doing and we think we know better, or we may see what's happening and we want to protect them, and we want to fix everything and save them and protect them, and at the end of the day, there's only so much you could do. And there's also this moment of taking a step back and letting them learn for themselves, like, and be in that experience. Like, they're doing something that you don't like, is it affecting you? Is it bothering you physically, emotionally? Like, then you could then have a conversation about it. Like, and that's where communication comes in. When something's bothering you, have a conversation about it. But at the end of the day, everyone's on their own journey and their own path, and it's so important to let them be there, because then now you're intruding on their learning experiences and their lessons. If you want to be a friend, be there for them, and if, especially with, I think, especially with people with depression and anxiety and addiction, this is such a touchy subject. But, like, I don't know, I just feel like, and I'm still learning to navigate this too, like, how do we help our loved ones, and how do we help the people around us that are suffering with this stuff? And I don't even have any, I'm still learning about it and figuring it out. I think one of the most important things we could do is during meditation is to send love. Is to send love, to send light, to send love, to send support. Continue following your own path. And when we do that, we automatically uplift the people around us. So let's just say, you found yoga, you found meditation, you found what makes you at peace. You found your rhythm. And now you're so excited, you're so, like, high off of this. You're like, I have to tell everyone, I have to get everyone involved, and I love this, and it's great. But when it gets to the point where it's it's almost in a negative way, like, oh, so and so isn't doing anything for themselves, and this and that, and I have all the answers, and they're just not using them. Like, I could offer them everything and they just don't want it. And I think what's important is, again, people will come around to their own medicine at their own time. So be a source of light, be there for that person, and be supportive in the way like that they could turn and talk to you and tell you about how they feel, rather than forcing something on them. Let them see that what you're doing, like, you're benefiting from, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna come to you and be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you so happy? What happened to my screen? Pause. Hold on.